After spending 5 years in the streets as a vendor, I realized that each man is in charge of whether they make it or break it in business. I've put together pragmatic business nuggets for entrepreneurs that have sustained me in the most uncertain economic times. Join me on this journey to impart this business wisdom to the movers and shakers. Together, let's build a strong network of entrepreneurs who break limits.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ask Jerry, the Chartered Vendor Show, the best business talk show in Zimbabwe right now. My name is Shamisa Chikarate, I am your host, and with me in studio is Jerry Nyasungu.
Hi Shamin.
How was your week, Jerry?
It was very fine.
Okay.
Very fine. It was just productive.
Well, that's good. So we've mostly been focusing on how to build your business, how to make money. Today, I want us to talk more about the actual management of that money once you've made it, right? So lately there's been this trend about financial literacy. People are just throwing that word around.
Yeah.
What do you think it means? Like, what is financial literacy to you?
Okay, financial literacy, I think it means the way you're supposed to know how to handle your money. I think maybe to put it in the layman's language, like even as a kid, if you're given maybe the boarding school, you're given $100. Do you know how you're going to budget the money? How is that money is going to finish your term? Even as an employee, if you're given a salary, do you know how to budget your money after paying rentals, maybe transport fee if you've got fuel, or maybe you end the month whilst you're now asking for loans. For
soft loans from friends.
Yeah. So it happens from a kid who is in school, primary, ECD, be it someone who is on salary, or someone who is in business now, at the business level as an entrepreneur. Are you able to understand your figures? Are you able to interpret your financial statement, to interpret your income statement, to know that this money doesn't belong to me, this money belongs to the business? Can you actually budget? I think I've worked for several organizations whereby it was a struggle for us to get a salary in a month. It means somehow, somewhere, maybe the accountant or the owner of the business, they're financial illiterate.
Okay.
They are failing to actually budget or to pay according to what they're actually getting.
So they know what assets and liabilities are, but they're failing to figure out and plan properly how to use the money that they get.
You'll be surprised. Most of the people, they just know of the assets and liabilities in school. But in business, they don't know what is an asset, what is a share, what is equity. People don't understand finances.
All right, that's fine. So you see, I am in the school of thought that financial literacy, the shorter definition is the difference between, where you are now and your future financial freedom and financial stability. So how then do we bridge that gap? Because financial literacy is literally the gap where I am right now and I don't know how to budget my money, I don't know how to save, I don't know what I'm supposed to be spending on, and yet I want to get to that stage where I can safely say that I am financially stable.
Financially stable, yeah. It's a good definition as well. But I'm saying now, I'm taking it from the point whereby someone is very, very young, because I think financial literacy is supposed to be taught from a young person who's actually in ECD.
Yes,
even my
absolutely.
kids, I try to teach even my kids to say, yes, she's 7, but she's supposed to understand if you're holding a $10 bill, what does it buy?
What can it buy you?
Exactly. We don't want kids, sometimes we'll be given $1 where we're still not very young.
Yes.
14, 15 years, when you're given $1 or $2,
Okay.
you might think that you're given a lot of money. But people must actually know to say, as a kid, when you're given a $10,
Yes.
it buys a medium pizza.
Okay.
They should know. They should know that.
So you need to train your children to understand the actual value of the money that they're holding.
And even when you're going to borrow someone money,
Yes.
they should know that the money is supposed to come with interest. So I always say to her, if your mother is going to take your money, when she returns the money,
that thing when visitors come and they give you money and the parents keep it and it never comes back.
So I'm saying now, please, they must know that it is to come with interest. At least they now know how the banks operates, the microfinance operates, even all those financial institutions operates. So it's not alien to them now when they're now running business. A bank is saying, I should add 10% interest, because they're also adding 10% interest when the mother was borrowing. So what I'm saying now is, yes, it's the goal whereby we're saying where I am today and where I really want to go. Maybe I want to be a millionaire.
Okay.
But right now, maybe my company is not even making $1 million. So how do I become a millionaire myself? And people, you'll be shocked with people, they don't even understand. Like, if you notice most of the business in Zimbabwe, people are even richer than their businesses because they can even attain a millionaire status first, whilst their businesses are not even worth $200,000 in terms of their net value or their assets. It's because people are failing to understand, to say the business must achieve the $1 million status first before you become a millionaire yourself. Like, even if you check those richest people, you talk of a Jeff Bezos,
Yes.
maybe he's worth around 200 billion. How much is Amazon worth?
It's worth
Trillions
much
of
more,
dollars.
Of course.
So, but here now it's opposite.
So your net worth needs to be a percentage of your business, not the other way around, where your business's total value is a percentage of your net worth.
Exactly. Because we're saying, as the owner of the business,
Yes.
you only derive your income from the dividend.
Yes.
And when we're saying dividend, we're saying revenue first. You get your expenses, you get your profit, you pay whatever needs to be paid at Zimra, you remain with the dividend. That is what is going to make where you are going to get your money, which you are going to spend for your assets, for your holidays, etc. That was constitute your net worth. But the thing is, now people have got a mistake of thinking that everything revenue belongs to money.
Them. Okay.
Then that's why it's very hard now, like what we were saying, to say I am here now.
Okay.
Maybe I have got 100,000 or 50,000 value. How can I now become $1 million? You can now budget to say, no, I think I can make $1 million. I can make 10,000 a month.
Yes.
How can I multiply my income?
Okay.
Maybe say that by increasing sales, by reducing expenses,
Okay.
or even by creating multiple streams of income. Like right now, what I have done, I know that per day, a good day, I might get $100, $80 from the books.
Yes.
I'm creating other
aspects.
avenues of
Alright.
getting money. It's no longer about waiting for the company to actually give
to
me
pay you
money.
at the end of the month, and
Yeah.
and especially if you're the owner now, you can only get dividends, and I'm sure sometimes you don't pay yourself dividends. If the
Sometimes
company is not
you
doing
don't
well.
even have to. Exactly. When you declare loss, where do you expect the dividend to come from? It's good that I'm executive, so I can get a salary. At least I've got something which I can get.
Which will push
but
you.
when I'm non-executive now, I'm not
There's
going to
none of
get
that.
anything.
All
You
right.
get it?
Now, I love this talk about, millionaires and all of that. When we are talking about financial literacy, especially in our Zimbabwean context, a lot of people talk about save your money, save your money, save your money. Do you believe that it is possible to actually get to $1 million status with just saving?
Saving money is a mistake, because I believe that cash is just a paper.
Yeah, well, it's like, you're digging a hole and
You
you're
don't
putting a hole
you don't
in
have
there.
to keep cash.
Yes.
But you must have cash flows. So what I look for are cash flows. Where am I going to get the next dollar, and how much will I be getting? So the money which I have, I like to invest it into something which is actually bringing me more money.
So you
I
believe in
don't
saving to invest, not just saving to keep, but you save and then you invest in something that will give
don't
you
even
future cash
save.
flows.
Money is supposed to be used. That's
But-
why even in America.
So how are
Yeah.
you saying, if you're saying don't even save, what if I just have $1, right? And at the moment there's no product actually in which I can invest that $1. I mean, if we're being realistic, a lot of the Zimbabwean firms that offer such asset management, you are lucky if they will accept even $100. You need to at least save to maybe about $500 before you start investing in that. Like, are you saying then that if I cannot afford, if right now I just have $1, I should just invest in something for $1, which is not going to give me much returns? Or can I save those dollars until I have 500 of them, invest them, and then make more?
Okay, thank you for that. I think maybe I'll go back to my story in the salad vendor. I used to be a vendor, and I had $4.5 million, which wasn't a lot of money. Maybe right now you can compare it to about $45. And $45 is nothing, but that was my capital. That's what I had between me and what? And poverty. But I got that money. I started. I started doing airtime.
Yes.
I was using money, and that money actually multiplied to about 12 million, the 4.5 million which I had, and I had to start doing sweets and bananas, and that money even multiplied until I was able to actually buy payphones. But if I had kept the $45 and say maybe I would look for another job to actually get more money, that doesn't work. Even when I started M&J as well, it was just me and my laptop. But I had to look for avenues. People, with $10, you can buy bananas and that money can actually multiply. So what I'm just saying is, you're not supposed to wait until you have $100 bill. You're not supposed to wait until you have $200 bill. You're not supposed to even think of asset management when you can't even. There are various ways of multiplying money. Like today, I encountered a man who is actually doing well. Do you know what they do? They buy a beehive. A beehive, do you know this how much? It's going for about $12. A beehive. Put it in a tree. Put those, what do they call those honey material? Then put that into the beehive. After 3 months, you'll be getting 60 liters of honey.
Okay.
And each bottle is selling for about $4 to $5.
Okay.
So $5 times about 120 bottles of honey is how much? You're making money. But it's just a $12 beehive. So people are good at giving excuses. And people in Zimbabwe, they are not creative.
Okay.
When everyone is doing
creatively solve your problems.
When everyone is doing broilers,
we'll all do them. Why not?
Everyone, even if right now our mothers, our grandmothers, they just want a project of if you give me money, I buy my 100 broilers. But
there are other ways of
bees don't need any food.
Yes, they can feed.
They can feed themselves. They can create honey themselves. You are not going to have any cost besides the beehive. So I'm saying now we need to start thinking differently. Not to always think. I think right now we now have runners.
Yes.
I think maybe everyone is now a runner. Every lady is selling baby wear.
Okay.
Let us think outside the box. There are various small projects you can even do. Starting with $5, you can do something and you can multiply that money. You need to just use that money. The problem is if you put money somewhere, it's not doing anything. The biggest thing which it can do, it can even devalue, even if it's USD.
Yes.
USD is devaluing every day, even here in Zimbabwe, even in America. I was reading that I think houses used to sell for about 40,000, 30,000 in America. The same house is now selling at around 500,000.
Yes, so if you
compared to
kept
the
that
60s.
40,000 and done nothing with it,
exactly,
it's worth nothing now.
Yes.
And if you had used that 40,000 to buy a house, then you would have a house.
So I'm saying just invest that money until it starts giving you babies. Simple.
All right.
Yeah.
So invest the money. Don't be saving to invest. Just use the money that you have at that particular moment to fund a project that is going to bring you cash flows. And please get this part clear. Put that money into something that will give you cash flows to earn more money. We'll be right back. Hi, thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. We're now still in this financial literacy, topic, and there's something that as Zimbabwean, especially women, we do quite a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is called elsewhere, but here we call it rounds. Mkando.
Yeah, mkando rounds.
When you have your money, and as a group of women, you decide that you're going to be giving her the money until you get to your turn, and then you get more money, which basically would be similar to what I was saying earlier about saving to invest, which you are against. So what's your take on rounds? This I would really like to know.
With rounds, I think to me, enough respect to those who are doing rounds, but I think it's dumb.
Why?
The reason being is doing that, you're kind of saying, I'm not disciplined. I can't keep the money, number one. Number two, I don't have any way to actually invest the money. Because still you're going to get that money. Let's say you're going to get that
No, but what
round
if you
last.
already have a plan,
Yeah.
but you just can't afford it now, and you giving into this round is your way of protecting your money, because you know what, even the most disciplined people, if something should happen,
What about
you
if-
have money to use.
What about the person who's going to get it last? What's their agenda? Because if you say 6 of you, there's someone who's going to get the round after 6 months.
Yes.
What are they going to benefit? Because they've been giving other people $1,000, then they'll receive a $6,000.
Well, they'll have more money to start their project if they want.
But they're simply saying, I'm not disciplined to keep and take care of my 1,000.
But you also said that keeping money is useless because it devalues every single day.
And giving people money 1,000 each is actually a big risk, because you now have 6 people with your 6,000, which is actually a big risk. And usually these rounds and these candles, they usually end in tears. They
Well,
usually
I would
end.
go first. I feel like if I ever did it, I would go first. I would always want to be first. So if there's anyone who wants to play around with me, I'm in, but I want to be first.
I hope you're going to pay them back their money.
Of course I will. I will pay you back.
The thing is now, instead of multiplying, just imagine you've got $1,000 which you can afford each and every month. Why can't you just take that 1,000, invest it somewhere, small business, whatever you are doing, multiply that money. I tell you, in
Maybe
Zimbabwe,
my project needs me to have 6,000 instead of 1,000.
that's why I'm saying now, most of the people, our thinking, we think too big without the capacity.
Well, aren't we supposed to be thinking big? Isn't that what, all of these goals and motivation and all of that? Think big. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
Yes, but you should know how to go to that dream. We cannot say right now, we are here in Africa, you've got $1,000, but you're thinking of owning ships and aeroplanes. It doesn't make any sense. Start by owning a Honda Fit.
But
Then
exactly,
you
you know what?
start
Perfect
there.
example.
Yeah.
A Honda Fit costs roughly about 4,500.
Exactly.
Right? You can only get 1,000 a month.
Yes.
And instead of risking, because you know what, in financial literacy, the biggest risk is you. Because you're the one who's most likely going to spend that money. You're the one who's going to feel sorry for a relative who comes to you with a sob story and give them that money. So in giving to these rounds, you're giving 1,000 every month, knowing that at the end of month 5, you will have your Honda Fit and $500 fuel money.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you're very right. I agree with you. But I'm saying, what about...
I agree. I know what you said, but I agree. What are you saying?
What I'm just saying is, let us find, instead of keeping money, let us make money multiply. And that's my dimension. If you are going to get it to Mukando or to get it into the rounds, and it's going to bring in extra interest, when that 1,000, probably there are cooperatives right now. I think what a Women Excel Circle there. It's a cooperative. If you inject your capital there, it's going to multiply. You get it 36, 56, 50% interest.
Okay.
That's much better, because you know that 1,000 is going to multiply,
Alright.
and that 1,000 is also safe.
So what we're saying is not all rounds are bad. You need a round that has compounding interest. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I'm just saying, you don't play around or don't get into these investments where you're not going to get any interest. You're actually even risking your money even more, because you're giving it to people, and people are not honest. People are always dishonest. And it's better for you to start. I've got $1,000. What project can I start? Let me go and buy a camera for $800. Start taking pictures. By end of 2 months, you will have actually get about 2,000, 3,000. And that camera now is now an asset. You're making money.
Okay.
And you start now building a photographing business. As simple as that. Right now, I think some of the cameras, they even cost around $200. You can start a business with $200. But the thing is, we want to start with a studio.
Of course. I
With
want a whole
the
big
full-
house, with my name on it.
Exactly.
Karate Studios.
Exactly. So the thing is, even when you want to venture into real estate, don't target to think of getting 500 houses. I need to have land. I need to develop land. Start small, baby steps. Start with that.
All right. So basically what Jerry is saying is that it's all good and well to want to, keep your money safe and not risk spending it. But if you're just keeping your money and it's not working for you and it's not growing, money needs to work for you. Your money should not just be sitting there and getting dust. Your money needs to work for you. So make sure that your money is working for you. Don't just, leave your money on the table.
Have you
for
ever
other
played
people.
the rounds in candles?
No comments. I refuse to comment. But I did say, should I have played? Whether I have played or I will play, I want to be first. Yes.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yes, if you're not first, you're last. So I would rather be first. Have everybody's money and then figure out how to pay them back later. While we're still on this topic, right? Earlier, you did mention budgets. When people hear budgets, people just want to run away because a budget just seems like this tool that is meant to oppress you and make you, not live your best life. We all want to live our best life. And budgets just seem like to be tools that don't allow you to do that. Like, what is your take on budgets? And how can we just change this perspective and mindset that budgets are tools of oppression?
Okay, I think there are two types. There's a budget and a financial plan. Maybe I'll start with the budget. A budget, you are saying the money which I have today, or the money which I've got maybe the ability
to make that money.
Yes. Maybe I'm earning $200, but if I work a bit harder, I can even make $400. So I'm now saying, according to my budget, maybe I'm going to get $400. I'm going to spend it how? I want to pay my rentals, maybe $100. I want to pay my food, it's $100. I'm going to remain maybe with the extra $200. How am I going to invest the other $200? So that's a budget. You're working from the actual figures which you're earning. But a financial plan now, you are saying, I don't have anything. I have got $400. But personally, I want to live in Hollywood. That's where I want to go. So why most people are not successful is they don't have financial plans.
So I need to already plan that I want to live in the Brook one day.
Exactly. That's a financial plan now. So you should start planning now. Whatever you are doing every day, is it leading you
towards that
to Boredo Brook? You as ladies, sometimes what you'll be doing every day is actually leading you to Mzarabani.
Are you sure? It's not do you know how much work and effort ladies put into everything? We are very good at plans.
I'm just saying with ladies now, it's not guaranteed that you're going to remain in Harare forever. Sometimes you're going to be
guaranteed that you will marry a man who can actually understand that you as a lady are trying to work hard to get them to Boredo Brook, and you're stuck with a man with the Mzarabani mindset.
That's why I'm saying even you're dating a man, is your man leading you to Lupani or is leading you to Boredo Brook? So what I'm just saying is, financial plan now, it's a long-term goal. Sometimes it's a life. We're saying it's 60 years. Where would I want to be? I want to own a helicopter. Maybe I want to own a private jet. Maybe I want to own an island.
Yes.
But maybe I'm around 35 years. What should I do
to get
with
to that point?
With maybe my 20,000? To be at that point. So I'm now planning now to say, no, if I'm doing this business, does this business have the ability to make me that kind of money? Maybe I'm not diversifying. I'm not being innovative, trying other businesses, because I know that this is the financial plan. So if you live within your budget, sometimes it's also a bit costly, because you're never going to achieve.
Accustomed to that level of poverty, and you get comfortable in it, and you don't try and expand and get out.
Take someone who is living in the rural areas. At my rural areas in Otsomba. That routine, that when you wake up, we eat our sadza, we get into the fields. At the end of the day, 6 o'clock, we are asleep. We wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. It sounds so comfortable. Maybe you're getting $100 income. You just buy your groceries. Sometimes in the rural areas, you just need to buy cooking oil and salt only.
Everything else you make yourself.
Everything else is available. So I'm saying now, someone who's staying in the ghetto, they are so comfortable with staying in the ghetto. They don't even think of how can I move from Budiriro to Boredo. You see, you become so comfortable because why? You are living within your budget. But if you want to put some kind of discomfort in your life, start having a financial plan. Start writing it every day. You start being afraid that no, my daughter needs to go to university in America.
Yes.
Then I don't even have the money. I can't even afford.
So now you start being able to think creatively, and and that's where now these people who, for example, buying the beehives come in. Where they're now saying, all right, I need to raise this much money in this much, in this given time period, and I need to figure it out, or otherwise I'm not going to make it.
Or how am I going to retire? okay, can I even start doing an educational plan for my daughter right now?
Okay.
Maybe paying $100 each to an educational plan, or even an offshore.
Yes.
You are now making a financial plan, because you know that in the next 20 years, sometimes you can't even afford. Sometimes, with life, you never know with life.
Yeah,
Sometimes you're even disabled. Sometimes you can't even work as if, like what you are doing right now. So I'm making a financial plan to say, how do I want to end my life? How you look at your Donald Trumps,
Yes.
I think around 8 years. You look even at our president, around 8 years. But those guys are still hungry, and they're even declaring that no, we'll be still in charge, and they are able-bodied. They can still work on themselves. Go to the rural areas and find an 80-year-old. You see,
They've just relaxed.
exactly, because they've relaxed with life. They don't have ambitions. Whenever I've got ambitions, whenever I've got a vision, sometimes God actually
Like your
grants
vision
you.
is what pushes you.
Exactly,
It gives you that energy
exactly.
to keep going.
Like you look at Grant Cardone at 65 years. I think he posts almost nine times a day on his social media platforms. It's 65 years old. But if we're a 20-year-old who can't even post once, they are busy following your socialites and commenting stuff on social media, but they're not even being creative.
They're not
Because you can
trying
make
to
money
solve
through
anything.
social media,
Yes.
but people don't have a financial plan. So I want people to start thinking of financial plans more.
Like stop trying to just live within your budget, but also just, have your financial plans that allow you to then grow.
Exactly.
All right. We cannot talk about finance stuff without bringing in the issue of access. For example, you were talking about how, somebody in the ghetto or in the rural areas can become comfortable and then just decide to, stay there. But there are instances in which it's not that you are comfortable. It's just that you are so busy focusing on surviving, like getting through the day, that thriving for you is not really a priority, right? So what kind of advice can we actually offer for people in which they're still in that survival mode? Because if I'm in survival mode and you give me $100, I'm not going to go and buy a beehive, which can earn me $1,000. I'm not going to go and, start selling airtime. No, I'm going to go home. I'm going to buy the basics that my family needs. I'm going to go and pay for my child's school fees. And yet, if you give somebody whose basic needs are met, that $100, they now are, freer to be able to start projects that then, give them money. How can we sort of try and at least fix that situation?
Yeah, that is actually a great question. What I think with money,
Yes.
I think is it Robert Kiyosaki he described the rat race, I think, in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, or Rich Dad the Four Quadrants.
Yes.
So what we're now saying is, give an employee $1,000, they'll spend according to the $1,000 and finish that money.
Okay.
Give them $10,000.
They will spend.
They'll spend
Finish
according
it.
to the $10,000. Because why? They are saying the next month I'm also going to get the same 10,000. You get it? That's the mentality. Give an entrepreneur $10,000. They're not even sure
Yes.
whether in the next month they are going to get
Get it
the
or not.
10,000. So you see that mindset already is different.
It's different, of course. Now
So-
I'm focusing on how to extend and grow this 10,000, whereas the other 10,000 is, well, I can spend it.
I can spend it, and next month I'm guaranteed that I'm going to get the 10,000. So what I just want to say to my young brothers in the ghetto, to my big brothers in the ghetto, and my big sisters, my young sisters, is please don't hang around with people who are not going anywhere. The problem is, ukanzimudara with $1, like come with $1, you buy someone a card, and people actually say, Mdara, and when you
Yeah.
go with your small vehicle, people start saying, Mdara, in the ghetto, they will give you all sorts of names in order for you to buy them beer. You are not going anywhere. Personally, I like to hang around with people who are going to say, Jerry, go and buy beer for us.
Okay.
When I'm parking my car, I'm even ashamed to park my car amongst these guys' cars. Because why? They will challenge me. Even if I visit their houses, I'm more motivated. I'm seeing this kind of life which I'm not even living. It kind of
And
it
you
drives
aspire
me,
to
and I'm
that.
saying, but how can I be in
That person.
Borodobrook How can I be in Borodale? How can I be in Westgate? How can I be also in Greendale? How can I also be even in Horton Park?
Yes.
It's because I can see the life someone is actually living. But if you just live in the ghetto every day, is town, your ghetto, you think that you've made it, but in life you'll be behind. So what I just want to advise them is hang around with people who are going somewhere.
Yes.
If you are renting, when you're a young man or a young woman who is actually going to work and renting, my advice is sometimes, yes, renting in the ghetto is affordable, but it will damage your brain. It will cause serious brain damage to your success.
Okay.
Try maybe to live in the medium density suburbs. Try to live in the low density suburbs. You start to aspire and say, no, I think I can be
want
also
more.
at that level.
Exactly.
So that's what I want to live, and I want people to actually change. Everything dies and it can grow in the mindset.
All right. So as we have said, it's very important for you to be careful to not have a poor mindset. It's okay and it happens and it's understandable to not have enough money. But if you have a poor mindset, you are just done for. If you really now want to learn more about how you can actually just grow, even with that little capital that you have, be sure to buy the book, The Shattered Vendor by Jerry Nyasango. Thank you very much. See you again next week.